Hi, welcome to CraftTime. I'm Miss Stella from the Bethpage Public Library Children's Room. Today we're going to make a really cute snowman votive. And this is what it's going to look like. So our little snowman you could use as a decoration, and it has a little light in it and it'll be all lit up when you're done. Okay, so to begin, everybody should have received the bag with their crafts. Everybody should have gotten one of these bags. And inside the bag, there's going to be your jar that had a lid on it. It also has on the lid, this came with it. Don't really need this piece, so we're not going to use this, but that has that inside it. It has a little candle. And then you'll have 2 pom-poms, 2 googly eyes, like that. Oops. Just like that. And you will have 2 pipe cleaners, 1 red and 1 white. You'll have a little bag that has snowflakes in it. And you will also have a little plastic container, I'll show you, that says glue on it. And that'll be your glue, okay? And you have a stick that I put in the bag, and that is what we're going to use to spread the glue onto our jar. Okay, so now, just want you to know that all children now must submit a picture to the children's room in order to, so we can take attendance, know who is coming, and then again, the kids that are in 4th and 5th grade and want to get 21st century credit, they have to take a picture of the craft they made and submit it by January the 6th in order to get credit for that. So you will send it to the children's room at bethpagelibrary.info. Okay, so remember, like I said, everyone who is doing a craft has to send in a picture now. All right, so let's begin. First, we're going to take our jar, okay, and then we're going to put our glue all over it and roll in into the snowflakes and let it dry for a second. Okay, so I have my glue. I'm just going to use it from here. I'm going to open my glue like this so that I can just stick my stick inside of the glue jar. Remember, I'm working on, again, a table with a piece of cardboard so I don't get anything dirty. I'm going to try to lower my camera down a little so you guys can see better. And then we will begin. All right, so what we're gonna do first is, I'm gonna put this aside before I put the glue, and I'm gonna take my snowflakes and have them ready. So I have another piece of cardboard. It's a little piece of cardboard. You can use a paper dish, anything you have. And I'm going to put some of my snowflakes on here so that I could then roll my jar in. So I'm just going to spread some out like that, and you'll see how much you need as you go. So I'm just going to put this to the side. Well, I'll leave it there, and then I'm going to start putting my glue onto my jar. I'm just going to dip my stick in. You don't need that much, and I'm going to start kind of like painting the jar with the, and you could just do it an area at a time if you want. See, just putting glue everywhere so that the snowflakes will stick to it. You could hold on to this top over here so you don't get glue all over your fingers. So try to get some glue on it all over. Remember, if you miss this spot, you can come back and fill it after. And on the bottom. And I'm just gently spreading it around. Turn it. Put this glue. Okay. Once you do this, you're going to have to put it aside a little and you let it dry, and then we continue with the rest of the craft. Okay, so I have this. You don't want it to get bloppy because then the glue will start, dripping. So just kind of spread it so there's not big globs of glue anywhere specifically. Okay, so you see now I have my glue. I have it spread all over the jar. Now I'm going to take it, my snowflakes, and I could just start throwing some on too to first get them on. Just like that. And I'm gonna put some more and press it a little. I'm gonna use more flakes. I'm just gonna spread them, and then I'm also gonna just roll it in Okay, and then I'm just gonna gently roll it on my piece of cardboard that I have, or whatever you're using, a paper dish, paper napkin, so that the flakes get stuck on. Simple as that. Over here I could see an empty spot, so I'm just gonna add a little more glue here. Spread it, and I will take some more of my flakes and press them onto that spot. Okay, so now we have our jar with all our snowflakes. Then we're gonna put that aside to let it dry. Okay. I also, I forgot to mention in the beginning, we do also have a bag of molding clay. Looks like this in the kit that I gave you. And what we're gonna do is with that, we are gonna make our snowman's nose. That also has to dry. So that you could actually do maybe the day before or before you do it and let it sit. This is how we're gonna make it. So you just take, this is already open, I used. So you're just gonna take some of the molding, like that, roll it up, and just make like a ball. You only need a little piece. And then I kind of rolled it like a hot dog and made my tip of my carrot, nose. And then I push the bottom to make it a little fatter on the bottom. And there is my carrot nose, which is gonna go on the front of our votive. Okay, so that you're gonna let dry. So after you make that, put it aside. You can continue making your whole votive, and then at the end, we'll glue on the next day, even if you have to let it dry. It's not gonna get completely hard in the next day, but it's enough that you can color it or paint it orange. Okay, so now I've let my snowman jar dry. So I'm gonna take it again in front of me. And what I'm gonna do is, first I'm going to make the earmuffs that go onto the snowman votive. Okay, so you take now the two, let's get that out of the way, the two pipe cleaners, the red and the white, you put them together, and we're just gonna twist them, straighten them up first, like that, and then just take the red and go around, or the white, just go around each other to give it a candy cane look, I guess, the colors. We'll just go around, wrap it around, just twist them together. And then we have the top of our earmuffs. So we're going to close our jar, like that. Close the jar. Okay, whoops. And we're gonna see how high, let me face this, how high we want this. Now that's a little too high for me. So you want it to be like that much. So what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna break off some of the pipe cleaner. In order to do that, all you have to do is just go round and round and round like that. See, I'm just only doing the red one. I'm going round and round and round, and it'll break off. Just throw away the extra, keep it on the side, and then I'm gonna do the same thing to the white one. Just keep twisting till it breaks. Okay, so I took off maybe about 1.5 to 2 inches. Okay, and then again, I'm going to see how I like it on my, see, I think that height's a little better, okay? So your pom-poms now, let me just twist the ends so they stay closed. And this one too. I'm just twisting it so it gets a little tighter, okay, and twist my ends so they don't open. And what I'm gonna do now is glue them to the top of the jar lid, okay? So you can keep the jar lid on so you can see. So I'm gonna take some glue and I'm going to put it on the end of my pipe cleaner like that. A little bit of glue and place it where I want it on my jar. Let's see, I think I placed the glue on the wrong side. Okay, so now I'm going to put it onto the jar and let it dry on both sides. Put a little glue on the jar too. Okay, so you just put it on both sides and let it dry. You might have to hold it a little bit so that it stays on. Okay, so now I've glued both sides of the pipe cleaner to the lid of the jar. And I also want to say, if you have any kind of tacky glue instead of using Elmer's glue, it's a little thicker and it's easier to get this to stay on. If not, if you have mom or dad around or a caregiver that could help you to use a hot glue gun, you could hot glue gun it on. So next, we're going to take our pom-poms. We have our two pom-poms, and we're going to glue them to each side of the pipe cleaners. So I'm going to take the tacky glue now, and I'm going to put some on my stick, and I'm going to add it to the side of the pipe cleaners like that. And I'm going to take my pom-pom and hold it in place for a few seconds so that it stays on the side of the jar. And then we'll repeat that with the second side. Again, take my my glue stick here, and put some glue onto the pipe cleaner, and just put a dab of glue there, and take my pom-pom again, and I will stick it on to the side, hold it in place, and there you go. You got his earmuffs on top. Next, we have our googly eyes. So we're going to take our googly eyes and place them on to make his face. And we're going to put glue on that and put one and one on each side right there in the front. So let me get my glue. Again, I put a little bit on my stick. And I'm going to spread some glue. Let me just get this out of the way. I'm going to spread a little bit of glue. You don't need much onto the back of the eye. I'll put on each eye now so I could just stick them on. Okay. And then I'm going to see where I want them. And I will put one on there. Okay. And then I'll look at it. I have to look at it, see where it is. And I'm going to put my other eye. Again, simply press it onto the jar. Okay, so there you go. Now, we're gonna let that dry a little. Whoops, that came off. I have to put a little more glue, I think, on that. Okay, put a little more glue. Let me see it. And stick it right there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put this aside now and let it dry. And now I'm going to take the carrot nose that I made. And what we're going to do is you could either color it with magic marker, or if you have paint, you could just paint it orange. So I have my orange magic marker. Now I did this yesterday, so I let it dry overnight. And I'm just going to take my magic marker and color it, just like that, to make his nose orange. Okay, so you're just going to color the whole nose. So now I've colored the whole nose like that. I colored it once and then I let it sit a little bit and I colored again just to get the color more on it. And I want my nose to be flat on the bottom. Like I said, I made this yesterday, but it's still soft, but it's hard enough that I could color on it. So now again, I'll take my jar and take a tacky glue to put this right here for his carrot nose. Okay, so what we'll do now is, again, you have to have patience and let this dry. For the video's sake now, I'm just going to put some glue gun on here to get this to go on so that it will dry faster. Again, if you have an adult supervision to help you, they could help you. And then what we're going to do is just take it and place his nose. You got to watch where you want it. And put it there. I'm going to hold it for a couple of seconds. Okay, and there is his carrot nose. So next, we'll put this out of the way. Inside, you also, in the jar I gave you, you also have a little candle. You have to open it, and when you open it, there's a piece of paper on top of the battery. You're going to remove that piece of paper. You don't need that. So you take that paper off, put your battery back, close this, and then your candle should light. On the bottom it tells you if it's on or off. So here's our candle all lit up. And all you're going to do with that after is just place it in your jar. So now I'm just going to turn it and it shut off. So now here is the jar dry. Here, I just place it on, lit, and all you do is place it on the bottom of your votive in the jar like that. Close your lid carefully. This is still a little wet, so I'm not. And that is your snowman votive. Simple craft, but have to have the patience to let it dry. I hope you all had fun learning how to make this snowman votive. I wish you all to have very happy holidays and a happy and healthy new year to everyone. Again, I want to just tell you that every child has to now submit a picture to the children's room at bethpagelibrary.info. Those that are in 21st century, they want to get 21st credit for the school, they must submit a picture by January the 6th. And please write down that you're in 4th and 5th grade and that you're looking for the 21st century school credit. So again, it's nice seeing you all. Hope you had fun. See you all next time. Bye-bye.